Hey, what is up? Workbringer here, and today we're going to be looking at a Sanguine Depths run +8, but this is actually my +10 route that I'm getting ready for that doesn't have a rogue or a lock skip involved. Even though today we do have a rogue, I tell them it's a little bit more backtracking if you do the skip. However, you get Pridefuls on the boss, but this is a level 8, which is still pretty tough trash on Fortified. Not as hard as a 10, but because trash is kind of tough and we just want to time the 8, I'm not going to do the full rogue skip route. However, this is pretty much the generic Sanguine Depths 10 route that you can do with anybody. No covenant, no class requirements, no skips. So something we're doing here today, because it's spiteful, we talk about it ahead of time, because I'm getting really annoyed at not timing high keys or higher keys like this, because we spend way too long trying to kill the spiteful ads that pop up, right? And we have 2 mages and a rogue, so plenty of CC, and I have Hodge pretty much all the time, every pull at least, because of my talent. And I just tell him, I just reiterate, I was like, don't kill the spitefuls, just run away. Yeah, see, it's frozen, run, keep going, they don't matter. Right? And so if every single pull you're wasting like 10 seconds, right? Every pull you waste 10 seconds cleaning up spitefuls, that's not good. It's not good at all. Now, this, what's it called? This very ranged heavy contingency, except for the rogue, which I prefer, is probably not used to necessarily me kiting this back, because I think they got hit by something. But on Fortified, this pack lasts a long time, and so I have to kite the traps that go under my feet, or I think that's what's going on, and the thrusts, which I'm taking a couple. So this pack typically gets kited back, and range just needs to back up a little bit. So look at all the traps on the floor. That's like we have avoided those, and we're just freezing the spitefuls, and we run away. Excellent. Not bad on time so far. So the big difference about this route versus like any of the other ones I've done in here is that I'm losing threat on the big guy. Is that we're going to actually skip the entire room after this. And when you do a +10 route, that's going to give you Prideful on the pack right before the boss. And that's generally what you want to do, except for Spires of Ascension on Fortified Week, which I showed you on my Spires of Ascension 11 run, why you want to prioritize the the last angel. And that's the route that I will always do. Any group that's against that, when I'm grouping up, I was like, I'm saving Prideful for this. If they're not with that, then I'll leave. Whatever. That's cool. And that's what I'm doing with groups now ahead of time. For definitely for 10 and above, but even for like 8s and 9s, I share the route ahead of time. And usually there's some conversation about it. Okay, so I don't think... See, this is why we're doing this, is like, this is actually my first time pugging that skip, right? We skipped all of that. And yeah, it took people a little bit. So maybe it was their first time too, I don't know. The rogue shrouded it. We need shroud for later. I don't know what the cooldown on shroud is actually, but yeah. That's the first time doing that skip for me, so good practice. I actually did that for Halls and Spires immediately before I did Halls of Atonement 11 and 10, and then 10 again. I've done like so many 10s of Halls now. I practiced it on, believe it or not, I practiced it on Heroic, and then I practiced it on like a 7 or 8 or something like that. But now I can do Halls 10 in my sleep. That being said, it's all comp. It's all about the group, right? Stun the shades, run away. Like, that's a pretty good... Okay, someone broke the root, and that one's got half health. I don't want it to come and like kill somebody, right? Because these are all clothies, and like a leather, they'll just die. And so the druid preemptively put the sauce over there. I forget what it's called. Rogue's dying out here. I think I bopped them. And you'll see in my runs lately, someone commented on my YouTube video that I should lay on hands my party more, and I agree, right? In 30-minute long Mythic plus dungeons, that's lay on hands like 3 times. And it is somewhat rare that I need it for myself, kind of because Word of Glory crits for my whole health, basically, or like 80% of it. So I really should be just saving hands for other people. However, Divine Shield will never go on anybody else. That's my, like, I've pulled too big, or a patrol came in, or we're about to down this boss, but everyone's dead. That's my, like, that's my whole, that's my, what's it called? I forget the phrase. Anyway, yeah, we just leave those there. I'm not, like, fully into, like, leaving trash around, but with spites, that's the move. I wish this group could come do the other side with me because, man, have we had a hard time in Pugs finishing that on Spiteful. There's just so many pulls and so much trash, like, eh. Anyway, interrupted it. I now tank him in the middle of the room, which is a little bit different. And this allows people to get really far from him on both sides, which for soaking the orbs, I just find that to be the priority mechanic of this fight and what I should be doing. Now, I actually thought I was tracking Ironbark and healer externals on my Voodoo frames, but I didn't see it, so I don't know if we're just not doing it or what's going on, but I basically... Oh, this is an 8. Never mind. Okay, I thought this was a 10. Okay, so I don't take much damage at my gear level. I'm like 207, 208 right now. I think I got a decent drop from this place. It's okay. It's not my favorite trinket, but I'll use it for now. I'll take the IO, or I mean, rather, I'll take the eye level boost. More than the actual usability of the trinket. It just helps pugging a little bit easier, though IO is clearly the real issue. I'll be making a video about IO and my thoughts about it, having tanked for a while. But you'll see that we single phase that boss. This is how you want to do it. This is it, right? We so confidently smashed that boss that I double pull this room, even on a Spiteful. Because we got mages in here, okay? These mages, should they want to. I think the healer's drinking. That's fine. I can tank this room for a long time. I just want to keep it moving, keep it moving. And people are always kind of anxious about this room, so I just get in here and give it the business. And even on a 10, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue. Any, AoE interrupts are always great. And these shades that are going to spawn up, right? Just freeze them and leave them. Freeze and run. Right, stun and run, freeze and leave, right? Peace out, it's been real. They're not going to get to us, right? Immediately pull this one. I'm getting more confident about that one, that strat. I'm going to spin this dude into the wall so he doesn't slice everybody, just me. And this is the strat. This is the strat. Okay, so that was very last minute. No one got hit. No one got hit on Craggy Fracture. The rogue interrupts turn to stone. We have ourselves some gamers here. Good group. Good group. Now, a lot of these dangerous casts I can pretty much do myself, but I'll take the help. I'll take it. I'm looking for the spite, give it the Hodge and the freeze, and let's just keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Grand Overseer. I put the skull on it. I think my macro says like priority target and interrupt, and I guess we're just cleaving pretty hard because I think everyone probably is targeting this guy, the Grand Overseer, but this is an 8 and he is not dying. 10's going to be tough. 10 is going to be tough. There's some pretty harrowing moments. Everyone in this group, I think it's a guild group. Everyone in this group is over 200 and still pretty spicy at an 8 Sanguine Depths. I don't know how people are doing 12s. Like, I think I could tank a 12, but like it's pretty tough. So these spites, they're getting a little aggressive, and we still have the most dangerous mob left, so it's not super ideal. However, we do Nova it. I'm trying not to AoE it and break it, right? There's an Ursol's going down. Yeah, and we're using like the full utility. I forget what that's called right there, but the rogue incapacitated that person. Now this unstealth rogue running ahead, come back, friend. So in this non-rogue route, right? We kill this pack. It's a little dicey. I think I typed to them, please focus the Grand Overseer. That Grand Overseer lived way too long. I don't know what was going on. We gotta kill it before it does the chains, hopefully. But actually no, I take it back. For my plus 10 route to get perfect pridefuls on bosses, we actually do kill this still. It's also Grievous, so I do a lot of off healing these days, this week. For Grievous. I don't know if this is the dungeon, but I've been doing a lot of off healing, which I think you might see in my Necrotic Wake 9 run. Spoiler alert, that's coming up. So what we do is for my plus 10 route for this place with a rogue, we skip this pack here. We could also do invis pots, but I don't trust people with invis pots. I'm like, we shroud this. We just whoop, go through there. And then we get prideful in that room. And that sets us up perfectly to have prideful for the boss. Now, the boss on a fortified week, not an issue, which you'll see. And basically, if range DPS have their cooldowns and they're level 200, which I thought this group was going to be like 210 or something like that when I looked him up. I'm the one that's I'm like 207 or 208 now. Oh, we're dying out here to this. Grievous, like when you're low health like this just hurts. And there's shades and it's pretty rough. Yeah, so skipping these is pretty cool. On a 10, imagine, right? Like it's going to be pretty brutal on fortified. But that being said, like these are like the mini bosses here. Like I'm just busting the cooldowns whenever they're up. Freeze and leave, trap and run, right? Oh yeah, we out of here. I'm just like, yeah, leave them alone. They're not gonna get you. But the bosses on fortified just melt. They just melt, especially if you have competent DPS that have big deeps and really know how to play the class. That's really it. It's like you can have lots of different fire mages and hunters. And I've had like such a crazy mix, maybe because there's so many warriors. I've had such a big range of warriors. I've had warriors that carried me through the dungeon, and then I've had warriors that are like dying every pull. Like what? Like how? Like what's going on? But anyway, on the plus 10 route, we would have 40 here, but a little bit later into the pull. But again, this is a plus 10 route that'll work for any group comp, no skippity skip, whatnot. We're just cleaning this all up here. People are dying. I think it's because of Grievous. And I am trying to be very on top on the Grievous affix to try to keep myself topped off as much as possible. And not just be like, you know, heal me up, bro. Yeah, look, triple CC on that Hodge, Freeze, and Entangle. We get it now. That's a good thing. That's triple CC. That shade's not going anywhere unless someone attacks it, right? Okay, so this trash, you know, you have to kick the shackles, and the other ones are doing pretty bad damage, but you have to stun them. So I can Hodge one out of the gate, and then the rogue can do some, and I'm not sure. And then the fire mages have double fire mage both have dragon's breath, and it's like we should be able to slow that down pretty well. This corridor is not my favorite on Grievous, or rather Spiteful, because it's kind of hard to dance it's hard to kite the shades here. And these trash packs at 7 and above, you know, and obviously at a 10, you cannot double pull these. At least I don't feel comfortable double pulling this pack. I forget what's going on. Oh, I think the druid is drinking. Cool. I reiterate about this is that we skipped that pack in the beginning to emulate essentially a plus 10 run, and I shared the route with them, and I told them, I was like, we need one pack at the end. Please don't go down. I think you can come back up, but just a reminder. And I also tell them this because if you watched my Earth Elemental saves run, this is where it saved it, right? So when I come in here, I go, where is that patrol in their cycle? That judges everything. Now, luckily, the druid wanted to drink, and the patrol was perfect. It's actually headed the other direction already. But the reason you can't double pull this at higher keys, especially fortified where it lives so long, is that research scribe, you can't interrupt her. She will just sit there in the red pile, so I can't go get her. The rogue can't go get her. Like, he's probably like doing the shuriken. That's all we got, right? So that was 3 mobs. That's just 3 mobs there, and they're all spawning shades. So it's pretty rough. And those red pools, they don't hurt me too much. Like I can sit in them for a while, but other people, that's like a lot of their health. Like I think pretty sure it's flat health, right? HP reduction. So we're waiting for it to go back. And I just tell them, I was like, wait, right? Jumping in there and pulling both of those, that's a wipe. Or it's all the cooldowns I have. So I pulled it and I'm walking back a little bit. You'll see that I've been testing the LOSing in this hallway, and you'll see me test it at the end. Because if we do the really fast rogue skip route where we get perfect pridefuls, this hallway becomes quite the LOS dance. And I was experimenting with it, and I still not sure I fully understand it yet, but you'll see at the end. when I test LOSing some of these pools, because like it's hard to say like what's LOS in a circle, right? But I kind of have some thoughts on it. But the LOSing is important in case for time, they say the patrol is in like the worst place, it's coming back, yet you want to kill the pack, start doing some damage on it. How do you pull this pack back besides just ranging it? Because the research scribes cannot be interrupted. They just sit there. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. So Fortified week has been my push week, except for the other side. Though, to be honest, I think it's the group. I think it's 100% group at this point. Like, I know, I mean, if I die, if I make mistakes, which does happen. I mean, trust me, it happens. But, mostly I'm playing the routes pretty clean. I'm still designing and learning and tweaking my 10 routes, but I did a DOS 9 and we were over by like 1 minute. I was like, 1 minute? And Grievous just Spiteful just especially is bad there, because like the last part in Ardenweald, which is usually that's like the meta for like the last place you do, there's just so many birds and so many Spitefuls, and you can't really run because Ardenweald has so many. There's 3 patrols, and there's basically invisible packs that not everybody knows about. And there's like the baby birds, which if you don't know, the baby birds, if you kill one of them, like this harmless little pack, they call out the squad. And then the matriarch comes out and that bird eats me. It's like pop all defensives eats me on Fortified week, this bird. Anyway, I tell him I'm going to kite, losing aggro to probably, I don't know, I have top damage. But anyway, telling him I'm going to kite. And so yeah, Dragon Breath, please, like especially during Frenzy right now. It's going to be a lot of this Angel Boy running away. Yeah, Ursol's is going down. Mass Entangle, though I instantly break it because I got to put the deeps on it, right? I don't want to kite them forever. But this is only at 8. Think about how long this trash is going to live on Fort 10. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. It's tough. This place is like mechanically I have it memorized. I know the routes. I know the skips now, but it's just a lot of trash to kill. It's tough, and some of it quite dangerous. So I didn't like this one, free casting back here. We're putting all the CC and deeps on the Frenzied Ghouls, because again, those Frenzied Ghouls right now, they will just kill me through my cooldowns. Not Divine Shield, of course, but like, they'll just kill me. So I gotta kite back the other way, it feels bad. Luckily, people have been just like locking down, stunning, but like, that was a lot of group effort to kill all those Frenzied Ghouls. They're still not dead, right? For me not to die, for me not to waste cooldowns, because, we're going on the boss, and this boss can be a thing. That was the whole group. I don't think we're like combusting on that. So what's weird here is that the gargoyle, it's the last one that spawns. That's very rare for me. Usually it's the middle one, I find. So, we gotta kill this gargoyle. Hey. But it's kind of a breather. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm pulling it right, dodge the thing. Did someone get hit? Nope. Pretty cool. I'm gonna pop I think I'm healing myself because I'm just trying not to eat Grievous stacks or whatever that is. I gotta look at the debuffs. Like, how does Grievous actually work? I guess I'll try to look for the debuff. But yeah, usually this guy spawns in the middle. I guess it's random which one of the statues he is. That's at play too. I need to consider that in my route, because in plus 10 Fortified and whatever, you're not trying to like accidentally pull something in. You want to have it planned, and it's mostly the patrol again. Those patrols are quite bad. I tell them to start on the inner side, and I think I say something like, we've got one more pack after, don't go down. Right, there goes the shade. Let's not mess with it, right? So there's the patrol on the other side. So we're gonna start on the left side. There's the laser. I get Castigate. There goes Time Warp, and I pop Guardian of the Ancient Kings. I get 50% damage reduction. Let's not freak the healer out in the beginning. Focusing the manifestation. That thing is melting, right? Double combustions or something going down. And the boss is at 50%. I like it. This is what it's supposed to look like. We are just barely outside of the red pool because I did not clear any trash in the other direction. So I need to be a little bit conservative with this. And I'm trying to heal myself. I don't even know if I need to heal the party. This is like such a joke. We're like 2-phasing the boss. I consider the manifestation the phase, right? And I am... Oh no, I forgot this does get a little dicey. But I'm pretty confidently changing to the right side of the room. However, Grievous is a thing, and we're getting a little low on health. Looks like did I lay on hands someone? I should watch this again. My health got a little low, but looking at the the health of the boss, it's like, okay, we got it. But that is why ideally you get prideful for that boss, because it's just a lot of damage. And this is only an 8. I've been doing 10s and 11s of like halls and spires, but this at an 11, I don't know. Anyway, this is the one trash pack I need, and I tell him I'm pulling it back, so like, you know, don't get aggro. No, not there. And you know why? Because that patrol will make it all the way back here, right? So where that scribe is sitting is no good. That's not good. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this is my first time doing this route where we need to get this extra trash. That patrol, I see it. You see the patrol in the background? Big bad. Big bad. So I just start running away and start outranging it. That'll be safe there. I still want to be further. So we could keep going too. But where we are now, we won't body pull unless someone doesn't see it, and they do body pull it. But this is basically where this is the part after the boss. Most people jump down. If you want prideful timings, I think based on most routes, you actually end up having to make up a lot of count here. And there's that dangerous patrol. And I forget if in my rogue skip, where you skip all this, you skip a bunch of trash, you need to make it up here. I forget if we pull the patrol or not, but you definitely don't want to pull the patrol when you don't want it, right? There it is. There it is going back, right? And I'm looking at my count, and I'm like, yep. And we just did that blue pack at the bottom, just double checking, right? Because if we go down and we don't have count and we finish the boss, it's not very easy to get more count after. Certain dungeons are very forgivable, like Misatina Scythe. I know a lot of people who do the routes, and like they'll just pick up the count after. Necrotic Wake, not the worst. This place is pretty bad because you'll port back to either the front of the dungeon or here, I think. There's just no more trash, so you need to get count here. Had we not killed that pack, we would have finished the dungeon, and we would have had like 97 or 98 count, right? Big rip. Would have been pretty bad. Just rounding these up, I think I'm standing in the pool of bad. I think the rogue is too. Like, look how fast their health goes down. That's like 20% per tick. For me, it's like 10%. Something like that. Not too bad. Just try to pull these along. And these are just time killers because, again, you can't silence them a lot of the times. And like they just don't follow. And we just kite away from the shades. Slow them, kite away, entangle. And drop the red pools. And we're just making our way downtown to the other pack. However, we have to kill this vestige. I can't just like, it doesn't just disappear. So we're just slowly chain pulling. And that's kind of what Spiteful looks like. It's this long like chain pull where it's like, oh, so you see the Spiteful, make sure it's not going to kill anybody, right? Okay, got entangled, and then I just pull it away so we don't break the mass root or whatever, right? That's kind of what it looks like. In different dungeons, you do it differently, but it does require a druid with mass entangle is like the best, or any other rooting, and then mage with the frost nova, or any of the slowing, or any of like the freezes in place, all good stuff. I don't even have to call it, right? Entangled, those can't get anywhere. Don't damage them, right? Here we go. Because otherwise, look how much life is left on that thing. We'd be wasting DPS. We'd be wasting time. So if this was a +10 on this route, we would not have prideful for her, but she is not dangerous. I get like 1-2 orbs, and look how much damage. I mean, out of 10, it'll be a little bit more, but look at the damage I take to this. Nothing. 20% instantly healed. Honestly, I should have just saved Word of Glories for other people. Like these rogue or these mages are under 50%. They're eating the Grievous stack, right? So this is my big one here. But on an 8, similar to a 7, this is again not tyrannical. Tyrannical is a little scary, but on fortified that does nothing. Like absolutely nothing, just through like regular mitigation. I think if I take no orbs, which I'm considering, it looks like I got 2 maybe. I don't like 30% of my health. That's like a Word of Glory back. Boom. Got the full health back. Do I Word of Glory to full? I do. Yeah, I'm trying to stay at full. And yeah, make the druids, because like look at the poor mages, right? They're just dying at Grievous right now, especially that one down there. I do want to pop a defensive here. Do I like immune this or something like that? I don't know. I'm getting low. There's the Word of Glory. Here's the other Word of Glory. And another. I think that was 3 Word of Glories in a row. Full health. Full health paladin. Cool. And two-phased it, right? Two of those orb pickup phases, right? So pretty good damage, right? That's what we need. The rogue tells me to LOS it, and I was like, I'll LOS it, and I'll show you another trick, right? And so depending on the route, the ads, so on the current route we're on, right? If this was a 10, this pack would give pride, which is a little awkward because it'll be in the middle of it. But none of these things hit very hard unless you just run through like all the traps. Like these Gargons don't do Halls of Atonement type damage, so it's really not a huge deal. But this pack would be ticking us over to 80 right here, I believe, and we get a pride. Yeah, that's 80 exactly. Look at this route though, right? Or at least I know it. I'm not saying that's a good thing, right? But no pride, and what you can do here is you can pull just these two, which are honestly, I don't know if they're the most dangerous, but they're the priority kills. The Stoneborn is not that big a deal. However, his ability, of course, is dangerous because it'll kill you if you get stuck in the ground. Target effect. I don't know who that's focusing because we all LOS'd it. But anyway, we are technically not cleaving all three at once. But on Fortified, these are strong ads. And this is only an 8. We kill the Grand Overseer. And we take these Spitefuls here where there's plenty of room, especially if you're all ranged. Like, they're just way back, right? Super chillin'. I've got room to dodge the thrust. And we've isolated. We don't have that Gargoyle dude with us. Now, if we were hurting for time or trying to +2 it, this isn't the move. But we're just trying to keep it smooth, right? I'm trying to test my route, test my numbers. So far, my numbers are exactly as expected. This is a good dry run of a Prideful. Right? And so what's cool, like, right? Leave them. CC and leave. Let's go. Let's go. What's cool about this run is that you don't get Prideful for the boss. So that boss is super easy. Is that you get Prideful for this triple pack, which this is normally like a nightmare, but we're going to have Pride when I do this route at 10, and we're just going to come and demolish this. However, you do need to stop. For Craggy Fracture, Mage eats it. Stone Skin gets interrupted by me. And yeah, imagine this group with Pride. We would melt this thing down. I would probably just immune it and just DPS, you know? Immune through all the things that they can do and just wreck them. And so that's something I've been doing lately is you'll see I take this same group and we pretty confidently finish this key and then we go do the 9 after. I mean, this is like as smooth as this run can go, basically. We didn't 2 chests, but I mean, you got to make plays to 2 chests, which is risky. I'm not trying to make plays. I'm trying to just keep this real smooth, see how the run looks. But Divine Shield is my utility, right? I could Divine Shield someone else, but what I tend to do these days, don't quite have Gargon threat yet. There we go. What I tend to do is that if the pull gets a little bit too big, if things are going a little bit sideways, I Divine Shield. I am now immune to all damage. If I'm close to dying, I'll of course heal myself, but then I'll heal everyone else. And that's when you'll see, like I'll Divine Shield, then it's like I lay on hand someone, then I Word of Glory myself. It crits or whatever. Then I Word of Glory someone else, and then I flash heal, all while completely immune, and I've leveled out the playing field, the health bars. So I'm like a healer for a hot second, right? Kind of like how druids can use tenants and there's earth elemental. They have a cooldown that allows them to kind of like tank for a bit, which is really helpful. Really, really helpful as we get into the higher keys. And like, say my cooldowns are down, like I don't have Divine Shield. I don't even have Toll to get nice aggro. I'm like, oh, can you tree this for me? And the tenants take over. This is dicey. That got a little spicy there. Everyone's health a little, mine's a little. I'm just trying to build up Word of Glory so I can get myself topped off here, I think. And yeah, that was a spicy one with the Gargon timings and how that all worked out. I'm just letting them finish that up before I jump too far. We have double set of Gargons, but these don't really hurt at really any level. Maybe I'm sure at like 15 they probably hurt a lot if you have low health, but by then I'll have like 70k health or something like that. But this is the grind. So on Fort, right, all these are a little bit stronger. It's kind of annoying. However, it's quicker to phase him down relative to Tyrannical 8 because he just doesn't have as much health. And yeah, we got these spites. Not a lot we can do here because I'm probably dropping like crazy AoE spells all over the place to keep the Gargons aggroed, right? I can't just like single target. Right, this whole thing is an AoE gauntlet as a tank. But yeah, we're doing it. We got the Squall picking up aggro. And this is it. We don't have a Venthyr, which is unfortunate. We'd be getting some like Omega buffs if I killed it on those pots, but not too worried. I was asking my guild leader, who's a tank, DH tank, who's done like, I think 15s already done like a bunch of 15s. And so he's got routes, basically. And I was asking, I was like, how are you routing this? He basically said, you know, there's a lot of fancy skips, even with like Warlock skips and dying skips. There's a lot of tank dying skips these days. I tend to not to do those. But you basically don't need Pride if you have a good group on the second boss. And you can actually just kill the... you just kill a bunch of mobs right beforehand on the Venthyr pot. And then you basically get a damage buff like it's kind of prideful anyway. And as you saw here, if you do that boss correctly with a lot of DPS and you lust it and whatnot, that's a 1 or 2 phase boss. That's what it should be on Fortified. If you're doing a Fortified run where the trash is supposed to be hard and you're doing like 4 or 5 rounds of that other boss, you don't have the DPS, I would say. So if you're tanking it and you're like, oh man, I'm on the other side of the circle already and like we haven't down this boss and we're all at 0, just know it's a DPS check. You just don't have the DPS because, yeah. Again, everyone's not even that high level here, like 200 something, which is not, people are like 214 right now sometimes, like really high people. It's like 214 people would have one phased it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so like I said, like for Fortified, you got to melt through the trash and the bosses are so easy that if you are doing a Fortified run here and you're not killing that boss in like 2 phases, 3 phases, you brought the wrong DPS, right? So if they're your friends and whatnot, that's cool. Just, you know, go pug it instead or something like that. So we're finishing up here quite confident. I still have immunity. I think this gets kind of hairy, actually. I'm not sure why. Do I eat a Craggy Fracture? I might have died if I ate that one. And a little bit of Grievous there, so I'm trying to heal myself up. Really don't want to use my immunity. However, I will. It's trash, right? We got to remember that like this last pack, pretty tough. And it's why I did that pull before where I isolated that gargoyle from the Overseer and the the Overseer and the thrusting guy, yeah. So big boss thrust, big boss like that pull at the end of it where we would have Prideful for it. It's kind of like the Spire's Ascension pull at the end with the Angels. Those are like the 3 toughest mobs. Again, stun and run, freeze and peace. I don't know. I got to figure out one that rhymes for that. Anyway, right here on this route, the poor Druid. What's going on? I bop and sack, same time, and Word of Glory. And maybe I don't know what happened there. He got shot or something. I don't know all the spells, but we're about to push into Pride, right? So if this was a Pride, if this was a 10, these last 2 Malabs are going to put us at 100. And we would probably be able to confidently down the Pride. We would go do the Pride in the room right next to it. And again, freeze and run from the last Spiteful. There's a 100 count on like the last mob. So that's a pretty good route, right? I mean, not that there's a lot of variation to do in Sanguine Depths, but that was the test. I now know exactly where Prideful is going to come. I can tell the group beforehand, show them the route. I was like, we will have Pride first boss. We will not have Pride for the second 2. However, we will have Pride for the hardest trash pack in the dungeon. And we will have Pride for the last boss, where I think it's nice to be able to just... I mean, we might one phase this. Like this with this group with Pride, we'd one phase this. They would do Gloom Squall once. That's it. And it would be dead. I'm fairly certain. So, no one's gotten hit. Blur stacks are a thing. Grievous is a thing. But we're all trying to stay pretty topped up. Running to the Gloom Squall. Try to give people enough time there. Look at the mage. Look at the mage. Blink. Oh boy. Big plays. I think that mage was stunting on us. I think they knew that was going to happen and said, don't care. Though you took big damage and now look at you like super Grievous hurting. Life is hurting. Let's see. This is one of those moments where I would start healing. I pop Guardians And am I healing people yet? Not quite, but it's for myself at least. I'm trying to stabilize my health bar so that everyone else can get healed up. Like this mage is like dying to Grievous right now. Ouchies. I should at this point divine. There it is. I divine. I cannot die. Unfortunately, Rip Gloom Squall happened, so I gotta run. So I kind of waste it, but I'm just healing now. Like he's in tree form, which is like instant. Oh yeah, Rip. But had Gloom Squall not happened right as I divine shielded, that's how I play now. It's like we are dying. Healer is putting his in tree form, doing as much healing as possible. We're getting Grievous killed here. I divine shield and I pop all the healing cooldowns. Like so, I think I used Lay on Hands twice in this dungeon. So I listen to comments. This is part of putting the runs out there. It's like I get these little things. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I should be Lay on Handsing people 3 times, right? Myself, other people. So I get an okay trinket. The on use, I mean, that's a good amount of armor. That's a good amount of armor, but I'll tell you, I'm not even gonna use the on use. I'm not changing my hotkeys for it. My C key, which is normally for that, that's my health pot now, and I'm not gonna change it. I'll take it for a little tiny bit more strength. It doesn't even put me into 208 territory, but it'll help a little bit. I just put it in there for the extra strength because, and I don't like on use trinkets all that much, to be honest. Like I'm just keeping to what I know for now. Unless it's that other side tanking one. So that is Sanguine Depths 8. Get ready for a 10. See you on the next video.